Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News. With students heading back to class tomorrow, we'll tell you more about the multi-million-dollar renovations now complete at Escanaba schools. Plus, Northern Michigan University is selling their broadband Wi-Fi services. We'll have the details. And good news for supporters of the Copperwood Mine project. It's cleared another hurdle, getting it closer to becoming a reality. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
And welcome in. A first look at your forecast as we prepare you for your Wednesday. So high temperatures for tomorrow will be technically on the cooler side, but we all should be around that mid to lower 70s range for this time of the year. But that unsettled weather is still with us, not going to be with us for the entire day. Most of those thunderstorms should at least clear out for the morning, and then a few more showers for the evening. But a full look at your forecast is coming up in just a few minutes.
Tomorrow, Escanaba Area Public Schools will welcome students back to the classroom for another academic year. Our Escanaba Bureau reporter Lily Simmons tells us what's new for the district this fall.
It gets kind of lonely in schools when there aren't students and staff around, so it's nice to have them back.
Over the summer, the district completed two major projects, a $2 million overhaul of the upper elementary cooling system and a complete renovation of the junior and senior high school cafeteria serving area,
which was original to the 1964 build. So it opened up the area significantly. We've got new equipment in there. It's going to make it much easier for students to grab breakfast and lunch.
New this semester, the district is adding academic support classes, as well as additional resources for students in the ISD's special education program.
Our goal is always to integrate those students as much as possible into the regular classroom. So we've created some elective classes that sort of help bridge that gap.
The district is also launching an AP capstone diploma program.
Students take at least 6 AP exams and pass them with a score of 3 or higher to receive the diploma.
Students who complete the program will be eligible for up to $10,000 in scholarships.
But to encourage students to do it, we offer scholarships as well for students who try and pass, maybe 3 of their AP exams with a 3 or higher, just because making the attempt is going to be valuable for students. That will help them go on to complete their college and university education.
That is the overall goal of Escanaba's new offerings, which the superintendent says are strengthened by the fact that the district is fully staffed and it's one of only a few in Michigan to have surpassed its pre-COVID levels of academic achievement.
The high school was just ranked by U.S. News and World Report in about the top, 13% of high schools in the state. Approximately 65% of our senior class goes on to post-secondary education. So a lot of good things happening, and we just continue to add programs that we think are going to be valuable for our students and community.
Reporting in Escanaba, Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News.
Northern Michigan University has entered into an agreement to sell its Wi-Fi network services, expecting to improve its reach and signal strength across the Upper Peninsula. WZMQ's Andrew Hands has more.
In 2017, NMU launched the Educational Access Network, expanding its broadband internet services past campus and into the homes of UP residents. Over these years, NMU has been able to provide 4G network access to over 115 rural communities. In 2025, the university began discussions to upgrade both this coverage and speed through a separate holder. NMU Executive Vice President for Finance and Administration, Gavin Leach, says the change looks towards long-term benefits of the region.
The landscape is quite different today than it was in 2017. You have a lot of private providers getting access to federal money and other private capital to be able to grow networks in the Upper Peninsula and other rural communities.
After bidding and searching over the past year, the university decided on Michigan Broadband Services to purchase the EAN. This morning, the Board of Trustees all voted in favor of the $21 million transaction.
This is one of those few win-win opportunities that you have out there where we can benefit as well as our communities benefit. So they were very supportive of taking that forward.
The university will use these coming dollars towards its student recruitment, College of Business matching grant, as well as a startup scholarship program for communities that allowed NMU to access its towers.
A lot of great opportunities for use of those dollars. It was something that really is the right opportunity at the right time for Northern and the right opportunity to help support our UP communities long term.
Following today's decision, the transaction process will continue on to an FCC approval, which Leach says is expected to finalize by November. Northern will hold these current functions on campus through at least the next year, expecting a seamless eventual transfer of ownership. In Marquette, Andrew Hans, WZMQ 19 News.
The Copperwood Mine Project is one step closer to construction after the state approved millions of dollars for infrastructure. Supporters say the project could do more than create mining jobs, reversing years of population and economic decline in the western UP. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy spoke with supporters about what they say comes next for the project.
UP lawmakers are calling the state's approval of over $50 million for Copperwood infrastructure a major step forward. But the money doesn't go out all at once.
To receive a penny, the Road Commission and the company need to hit milestones. And once those milestones are hit, they are then reimbursed.
The funding will support infrastructure, including roads, energy, broadband, and communications. But supporters say the bigger goal is what they expect that infrastructure and the mine to bring to the region.
It provides hope, hope that, residents can live and work in their community, that are, 18 to 25-year-olds that are currently our #1 export don't have to leave. They can stay there and work.
Opponents have expressed major environmental concerns, adding that the mine may only offer 11 years of operation. Still, a group of over 100 UP leaders has come out in support of the project. Fatante says the mine has passed Michigan's environmental permitting requirements and acknowledges the community will need to plan for what comes after the mine.
I think it's irresponsible to say, oh, it's only an 11-year project, knowing that that's really a starting point. And additionally, suggesting that we should turn a blind eye to this opportunity just by virtue of that, not knowing what's coming behind it.
Copperwood still has more steps before construction. Fatante says the project is expected to reach a construction authorization decision in early 2027, with the company estimating it could begin producing ore as early as 2030. For Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
Canada hit back at the United States with retaliatory tariffs on more than $27 billion worth of American goods. Today's announcement comes after the Trump administration imposed 50% tariffs over the weekend on Canadian goods following the collapse of trade negotiations. Natalie Brand has more on the increasing trade tensions.
The trade war between the U.S. and Canada escalated Tuesday, with America's northern neighbor announcing retaliatory measures.
Canada will match the United States tariffs dollar for dollar, rate for rate.
Canada's finance minister says countermeasures will target more than $27 billion worth of U.S. imports, including steel, appliances, and dairy.
We stand united in our response. We stand united in our resolve. We stand united in fighting for Canada.
President Trump lashed out on social media, accusing Canada of ripping off the U.S. for decades. He also doubled down on a threat to rename Lake Ontario to Lake America, sparking this reaction in Canada.
We'll always call it Lake Ontario. Great Lakes. Period.
Back at the White House, Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins says the U.S. is still in talks with Canada.
From an agriculture perspective, and specifically to our dairy farmers, the importance that we are battling for you, battling for that access.
Elected leaders in northern border states, even some Republicans, have voiced concerns, arguing the approach will do more harm than good.
This is a tariff in a long line of tariffs.
David Lane owns a vineyard and winery on Grand Isle in Vermont.
This is just one more area where that unknown and that economic uncertainty rears its head.
The Canadian tariffs are set to take effect September 8th, with Canadian officials saying they remain willing to find the right agreement with the U.S.
Canada also announced a $7.5 billion support package for its businesses and workers impacted by the new U.S. tariffs. Kelly Rowland has your first warning weather forecast after the break. Plus, our own John Truitt will go over some of today's top health stories. And the world is remembering country music star Dolly Parton. She died today at the age of 80. We'll be right back after this.
Now, from the 19 News Forecast Center, this is WZMQ 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
And welcome back. We are still counting down the days, well, the weekends, until the official start of fall. So we have 4 weekends left now until the fall equinox, which is September 22nd at 8:04 p.m. So people can maybe say, oh, it's starting to feel like fall. It's very cold. It's very fall-like. And it may be with some of these colder temperatures, but we are still in summer mode, at least in the meteorological world, until we hit September 22nd. So as for the rest of tonight, we'll see some of that unsettled weather. The showers and storms continue to move through, and that is from another system moving over the Great Lakes. So yes, we do have some of that northern influence of the wind bringing us some more chances for some colder temperatures. But the colder that it is, it's harder to get those instability driven showers going. So that's one of the positives from it, but we can clear out most of that rain once we get to tomorrow morning. Shouldn't have too much rain left for tomorrow, but we do have the chance of some leftover thunderstorms, mainly for the overnight into early tomorrow morning. And as for the severe risk, I always want to look at this, just in case, because you need to know when some of these storms will potentially be severe if you are out and about. So for tomorrow, again, with these storms mostly being left over in the morning, there's that general risk. But if you are way out towards the Sault Ste. Marie area, the very eastern portions of the UP, or even into the Lower Peninsula, that's where we have that 1 out of 5 from the Storm Prediction Center. So maybe a few of those leftover storms could reach that severe criteria, whether that's the wind, the hail, not so much the tornado activity, but can never completely rule that out. But as for the wind, here's that northerly influence, the good breeze, about 10 to 15, maybe even closer to 20 miles per hour for your Wednesday night. We'll keep it that direction going into Thursday, but also one of the benefits of that colder air is the comfortability. We are still counting down the weekends until fall, so it should still be summer-like, but at least for Thursday and Friday, when we get those northern winds, it's going to be very comfortable. Those dew points are not even going to reach that 50 or 55 range. So we're not going to feel sticky and muggy then, but then when we get to the weekend, those dew points start to rise back up, and whenever that typically happens, we're kind of watching for possible showers and thunderstorms. Also, as we get to Friday, some fun things to look up into the night sky. We have that full moon. It's known as the sturgeon moon. It will peak at 12:18 a.m., but it's also going to be a part of the partial lunar eclipse, which will actually be pretty good for us here in Marquette. So 96% of the moon's disk will be inside the Earth's darkest shadow, or the umbra, and that peak is 12:12 a.m. So just before the full moon, it should have a bit of that reddish hue to it because it will be part of that partial lunar eclipse. So again, that's on Friday, and we have some leftover showers and storms for your Wednesday. Should clear that out, especially for Thursday and Friday, mostly sunny conditions, and then a few scattered showers to round off the weekend.
A study examining whether there's a link between insecticides and autism. A warning about young people and exposure to suicidal thoughts, and how ads for alcohol often lead to binge drinking. Our own John Truitt has some of the day's top health stories.
Young people exposed to other suicide attempts are much more likely to attempt suicide themselves. A study published in JAMA found that adolescents and young adults who had someone in their social network attempt suicide had a higher risk of depression and suicide attempts. Researchers say the findings suggest looking at whether a young person has been exposed to a suicide attempt in their life could help identify others at risk for taking their own life. Exposure to insecticides is not linked to autism or social communication problems. An NYU Langone health study found that children of expecting mothers who had been exposed to agricultural insecticides at low levels did not have higher rates of autism. The study's authors say this doesn't mean the pesticides are safe. They could still harm the developing brain at higher exposures. Young people exposed to ads for alcohol are more likely to drink. A study published in JAMA found that alcohol marketing, especially TV ads, led to more drinking and binge drinking among young people. Researchers note that young people are often exposed to ads for alcohol when they watch sporting events. Those are some of the day's top health stories. John Truitt, WZMQ 19 News.
Country music legend Dolly Parton has died at the age of 80. From humble beginnings in Tennessee to becoming one of the most successful figures in American music, Parton leaves behind a legacy that reaches far beyond the stage. Gwen Baumgartner has reactions to her death.
Dolly Parton is being remembered by fans around the country for not only what she gave to the music and entertainment industries, but also for what she gave to the world.
I mean, she was a national treasure.
It's like losing our Princess Diana.
Parton died peacefully in Nashville Tuesday at the age of 80. The response to the news of her passing was swift. In Washington, D.C., President Trump ordered flags to be lowered to half-staff. And at the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a wreath was placed on Parton's star.
She was too good for this world. She taught me how to just to be myself, how to just have fun and don't care what people think. She was everything, seriously, y'all.
Famous friends expressed their admiration as well. Country music icon Reba McEntire writing in part, "You gave so much with your huge, huge heart. There will never, ever be another you."
Jolene, 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 Jolene.
Country artist Casey Musgraves, who performed on stage with Parton at the 2019 Grammys, wrote on X, "The world feels a lot less sparkly all of a sudden." Parton and her late husband Carl, to whom she was married for 58 years, had no children. Instead, Parton was a devoted aunt and godmother to pop singer Miley Cyrus. Her nephew praised his aunt as he announced her death.
Dolly opened doors not just for me, but for her entire family to reach the potential we didn't even know was possible.
Parton is expected to be laid to rest in Nashville in the coming days.
Mike Ludlam has your sports highlights. When we come back, we'll see who came out on top in tonight's volleyball matchup between Superior Central and Gwynn. That and more after this.
Good evening, everyone. The Gwynn Model Towners had some momentum going into tonight's home volleyball match against Superior Central. Colleen Eden's team won the Munising Invitational over the host Mustangs on Saturday. Gwynn entertained Superior Central this evening. We'll pick up the action in the third set. Gwynn is leading 2-0. Both teams content to keep the ball in play. Then for the Cougars in the far court, it is going to be Kylie Stewart right here passing the ball to Kate Rondo, able to flick it over the net for the point. Superior Central leads 14-13. Next point, Adeline Derwin will get that over to Harlow Harrison, and that's Elena Soyring with the kill. We're tied at 14. Next sequence, another battle at the net. Superior Central gets control, and it will be Rory Hancock, Kate Rondo, Peyton Adams for the kill. Just over and under the defense. That makes it 15-14 Cougars. Then a good swing by Superior Central, but Harrison will set Adeline Derwin again. Great dig by Kylie Stewart. However, that is Alexa Jakubowski for the point on the tap. 17-15 Gwynn. Gwynn scores 8 of the final 10 points. Peyton Stansky with the ace to end the match. Model Towners won set 3, 25-17, and the match 3-0. Also, a limited volleyball schedule tonight. It was Negaunee over Westwood 3-0. Marquette took the first set from Sault Ste. Marie in comeback fashion, 26-24, but we did not catch the final score. It was North Central over Kearney NATO 3-0. Big Bay did not. A road win at Mid-Peninsula 3-1. And Rapid River goes to Engadine. The Rockets come home with a 3-0 victory. The NMU volleyball team begins the regular season at home Thursday in the Up North tournament against Winona State. Coach Mike Lozier is pleased with his team's chemistry and the experience from his senior class. But the early unknown is how well will the new middle blockers play.
We have depth in a lot of positions. The one area where people are going to be looking at the court and going, who's that person, is the middle. We're going to have 2 brand new middles playing this season. There's 3 competing for a spot between Larson Bonstetter, Morgan Kuhl, and Lainey Russell. We lost our other 2 starting middles from last year, but these guys in the spring were unbelievable.
I mean, obviously we want to ring, we want to go to the NCAA tournament, but I think in general, like when we're done and we're finished and it's over, I think if we look back and we're proud of what we did together and we grew throughout the season, I think we can't be sad about that. So I think that's what we really want.
The NMU match with Winona State Thursday begins at 2:30. The Wildcats also host St. Cloud State Thursday at 7 o'clock. In between, Michigan Tech starts the season at Vanderbilt Arena Thursday at 5 p.m. against Minnesota Duluth. The Great Lakes Intercollegiate Athletic Conference volleyball poll for the preseason has been released. Ferris State getting 9 of the 11 first place votes and 99 points. Grand Valley State is second with 2 first place votes at 90. Wayne State is third. NMU comes in at fourth with 73 points. Michigan Tech is 7th with 49. And Lake Superior State in 10th place with 16 votes. Turning to high school tennis, Escanaba at Westwood. This is the first singles match with Escanaba's Anna Martin in the near court, Lynn Magnuson in the far court, and that's going to be a point for Magnuson as Martin just goes a little bit beyond the baseline. Next, Martin is going to find her way to the net, and in my opinion, yeah, she should have put that one away, but she's being too nice. Does a very nice job with the overhead, so she gets that one. And then Martin will win the next point when Magnuson hits into the net. Martin won her match 7-6 and 6-2. Westwood, though, getting more points from doubles as usual, and the Patriots took the team score by the count of 5-3. Also in tennis today, Escanaba started with a match at Marquette, and those 2 teams played to a tie at 4, and it was Negaunee downing Ishpeming 8-0. The Big Ten Conference has approved the rule that stops players returning from the NFL to playing for one of its schools. Any player who has declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw, appeared on an NFL roster, or signed a contract with a pro league cannot be on a Big Ten roster, the league announced today in a statement. The Big Ten's athletic directors unanimously voted for the rule, which then received unanimous approval from the conference's faculty athletic representatives, according to ESPN's Pete Thamel. The Big Ten's ruling comes in wake of 2 NFL players, Cleveland's Daquan Wright and New Orleans' Xavion Harris, parting with their respective teams to join Lane Kiffin's roster at LSU, and I believe the SEC also did that today. Let's turn to baseball now. It is the Brewers and the New York Mets, and a base hit early on for Luis Lara, the left field. William Contreras scores. This is the 4th inning, and the Brewers have a 1-0 lead. To the bottom of the 5th, Francisco Lindor goes deep off Kyle Harrison, and that one's going to clear the fence with room to spare. His 13th of the year, we're knotted at 1. Bottom of the 6th, Luis Robert Jr. crushes a solo home run off Chad Patrick, and his 10th of the campaign. Now the Mets lead 2-1. Top of the 9th, Brewers with runners on first and second, and Christian Yelich will go down the left field line. William Contreras will score to even it at 2, but the base runners were stranded after that. So we go to the bottom of the 10th. Christopher Morel, a grounder to third. David Hamilton's throw home, not good. And Lindor scores, and the Mets go on to win this one by the count of 3-2. How about the Tigers? Trying to finally win a game. They've lost 9 of 10 against the Tampa Bay Rays, and that is Max Clark with the home run, his first at Comerica Park, and that was a 2-run shot, and that gave the Tigers a 2-1 advantage. Then it will be a bouncer to first, doink off the glove of the first baseman. Gleyber Torres scores on the error, and the Tigers are up 3-1. In the 7th inning, Hao-Yu Lee says base hit to left field. Baez scores. That makes it 3-1. 4-1, I should say, and Detroit hangs on to win by the score of 4-1. Kenley Jansen picked up his 493rd save, and we will be right back.
And a final check of your forecast as we get ready for tomorrow. We're looking at those high temperatures to be into the lower 70s range, and of course some leftover showers and thunderstorms. It will not be a washout of an entire day, but at least the morning time we do have those showers and thunderstorms continuing. So have the rain gear for the morning commute and just have it handy in case we get a few leftover showers for the evening. But then once we set up for your Thursday, much drier and much sunnier for that day. The severe risk is basically a 0 out of 5, so that general thunderstorm risk, but some of us to the very eastern portions are getting clipped into that 1 out of 5. So a few isolated storms, that last little push of it may be severe, but we're looking at to soak up every bit of summer that we can. So the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook does show that we will be slightly warmer than normal, which is very helpful with the few weekends of summertime that we have left. It's a mostly dry weekend, at least for your Saturday, a few scattered showers for Sunday, drying it back out to start off next week.
Finally tonight, a Marquette business is transferring ownership in the coming weeks. Aquaponics is a sensory deprivation business located in the Upper Peninsula Medical Center. Due to a focus on personal goals, co-owners Peter Torelli and Leo Majorana have decided to pass their torch along. Health and wellness coach Heidi Zerkis has been a patron at Aquaponics for the past few years and decided to take on its new ownership starting in September. The co-owners say they made sure to set up an honorable passage of their business to allow its services to continue as strong as they began.
It's been great, and I think that to be able to transition the business to an owner who really cares and who's going to incorporate new services is the best thing of all.
Zerkis takes over on September 1st with plans to expand in January. That's it for tonight, everyone. We'll catch you back here tomorrow. Have a great night.